SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo is at the presidential guest house to get reaction for us following the interception of the global summit Flotilla and other matters pertaining to South Africa. Good afternoon, Khayelihle. Just share with us the very latest, or at least a sentiment from the presidency.
Well, certainly a very important occasion here in Pretoria. Just a short while ago, the president did receive those letters of credence from their ambassadors, the heads of mission deployed by various capitals, from the DRC to Serbia and many other countries as well, really showing the interest to South Africa. But joining us now is the presidential spokesperson, Mr. Magwenya. And I suppose, sir, the very first point where we need to get to, we've seen the statement from the presidency talking about the fate of those South Africans, the flotilla that was heading to Gaza. At this point in time, what is the key message coming out from the highest office in the land?
Well, Kaya, the key message is that that flotilla was in international waters, and therefore the state of Israel had no right to abduct individuals from international waters. We've made a call for their immediate release, not only the South Africans, but as well as the other nationals who are part of this aid effort of taking humanitarian aid, desperately needed humanitarian aid to Gaza. And in recognition of that, we expect that Israel must adhere to the prescripts of international law, must adhere to the provisions of humanitarianism in terms of ensuring that this aid reaches the people that so desperately need it. That's really the key message. Going on from here, our officials will be working to determine the state of our nationals and find out where exactly they are, with a purpose of providing consular services to them and securing their safe release out of the abduction that has been effected by Israel.
And just once again, Mr. Magwenya, are we in regular contact with these citizens, especially because we know the state of Israel? We've seen the previous flotillas, the likes of Greta and many others as well. And in this case, Nkosi Mandela and many other activists. What's the word are you getting from your diplomatic mission in Tel Aviv?
At this stage, as you know, we don't have much presence on the ground in Israel, which was necessitated by concerns of safety for our staff there. However, through our mission in Jordan, we are working on determining their safety, their health, as well as providing consular services so that we secure their release. It's still early to say now as to what the process will unfold, how the process rather will unfold, but we're making every effort to ensure that we secure the release. This is a peaceful effort. These were unarmed individuals who are taking aid, and therefore we see no reason why they should be met with any form of aggression whatsoever.
And another very critical issue, sir. Obviously, the nation is mourning the passing of South Africa's ambassador in France, Mr. Mthethwa. We've seen tributes coming from the colleagues from the ANC and many other parties as well. But in terms of now the way forward, and we know that this is pending investigation in Paris, any just way forward at this particular point in time?
Well, as soon as the cause of death has been officially determined by the French authorities, the process to repatriate Ambassador Mthethwa's body will then ensue and begin in consultation with the family members who have now joined Ms. Philisiwe Buthelezi, the wife of Ambassador Mthethwa, in Paris to provide support to her. And so as a government, we'll be working closely with the French authorities, with the family, to ensure that that process happens as soon as possible. At this stage, we are waiting for that official determination of the cause of death, and once that has been done, we will then begin with the process of repatriation.
And Mr. Magwenya, you just came back from the U.S., a very lengthy session, the UN General Assembly, and a short while ago we saw that now the trade instrument between Sub-Saharan Africa and America has expired. We know of a very critical role it plays, whether you're looking at agriculture and many other products, but also for job creation in South Africa, and also it's a mutually beneficial instrument. Both parties are benefiting. Any word from Washington, D.C. thus far?
Khaya, maybe let me start by saying, post the Oval Office meeting at the White House between President Trump and President Ramaphosa, we have escalated our engagements with various role players in the United States, in government or in the administration, as well as in Congress. And throughout those engagements, we have received the same message with respect to the commitment to continue with the AGOA trade scheme. Secondly, the support for South Africa's continued participation. Obviously, as you know, AGOA is governed through an act of Congress, and Congress must then meet to pass that act. There are other processes currently taking a lot of Congress's attention with respect to budgetary processes in the U.S. We hope once those processes have been concluded, then this matter will be finalized. At this stage, we remain deeply encouraged by the assurances that we have received, even in meetings, in bilateral meetings that President Ramaphosa held in New York with some congressional leaders, as well as American captains of industry who affirmed their support for the scheme as well as for South Africa's continued participation in the scheme.
Before we let you go, sir, and also in the interest of time, a lot of the ambassadors inside showing interest to come to South Africa for the G20 come November, showing also the very critical voice of South Africa in the global south. Just your reaction to this quickly.
So Khaya, I'm going to remind you of an interesting fact, and it still remains, that South Africa, or Pretoria, is the second largest host of foreign missions in the world after Washington. And so that tells you the sort of stature of our country, the position it occupies in various global fora, as well as the importance of our hosting, or rather of our leadership and presidency of the G20. We've seen resonance, strong resonance with the theme that we've chosen. We have seen support being expressed on some of the issues as South Africa we've chosen to champion, issues of debt, for example, issues of sustainability. At this time, when the world is confronted by so many challenges, we are getting a sense that the world wants to come together, work collaboratively in a manner that ensures no one is left behind. And so it was not entirely surprising to see the ambassadors expressing on behalf of their countries, as well as their heads of states and government, the kind of support that has been expressed. It's the same experience President Ramaphosa has held when he meets other world leaders, when he talks to other world leaders. Conversations always end with expressions of support to South Africa for its G20 presidency, the desire to be in South Africa during the Heads of State Summit, as well as support on the substantive part of our G20 presidency, being the theme, as well as the various issues we've chosen to champion as a country.
All right. Mr. Magwenya, thank you so much indeed, sir, for your time. Of course, the presidential spokesperson really speaking about the wide-ranging issues, but in the main about that flotilla that has been intercepted in those international waters, but also, unfortunately, delving into the context and really just looking at a very sad situation in light of the death of South African ambassador in France.